where we have Uhuru and Raila allies in survival fight. And of course, this is to do with the nominations. We saw how they went last week. We're already seeing, as from 5 a.m., we've been keeping tabs on what's going on. It seems that lessons may have been learnt, but not as well as we would have imagined. But let's stick to the headlines. Basically, Uhuru and Raila allies survival fight. Your thoughts on how this is going to pan out, especially given that the nominations this time in some of the strongholds, in some of the areas, are as good as the general elections. Because once you clinch the party ticket, it looks like in some areas you're as good as home and dry.
Thank you, Michael. I think I want to start by saying that, you know, when we wake up very early in the morning to come to shows like this one and offer free advice, I think it is only incumbent upon those who are involved to take our advice seriously. Because actually what we are seeing right now are things that we talked about. Remember the nominations for Jubilee last week on Friday and the nominations of ODM. These are things that we've been talking about. So as far as the headline is concerned, I think I want to say that it is only important that we stick to the rules of the game. If you are thrown out of the window, if you don't clinch the party's ticket, well, the law provides that you run as an independent candidate. But again, I want to hasten and say, Michael, that for a moment, can you just imagine what would have become of IEBC had actually it agreed to run these party primaries as provided for in Article 88 of the Constitution? I think right now the chorus would have been different. I won't be surprised right now if fellas would be saying that IEBC must go. So it is actually a tragedy. But talking about survival, I think the party leadership, both Jubilee, ODM, Wiper, and ANC, what they could have done in order for them to avoid these kind of ugly incidences is actually to take some of these bigwigs, talk some of these bigwigs out of this contest. For instance, in Nairobi, though we know that negotiations have been going on between Peter Kenneth and Mike Mbuvi Sonko, we know very well the candidate of Jubilee in Nairobi. We know very well the candidate of ODM in Kisumu. We know very well the candidate of Jubilee in Eldoret. So it is actually incumbent upon the party leadership to talk some of these bigwigs out of these particular contests for them to be able to fix certain things. But would that then be democracy?
Because if they talk them out of the particular areas that they want to contest, what do the people say? Is it up to the party leader or to the people?
Michael, let's face it. Well, it will be actually naive for us to imagine that the leadership of all these political parties do not have preferred candidates. That is a fact.
Okay.
As a leader who's positioning yourself to take your game to another level, you must have people who are loyal to you. You must have your own lineup that speaks to your ideas.
That speaks to you. All right, so that's the headline. And just a quick reminder of the pictures that you're seeing on the right of your screen. That is coming from Bomet County, where voting has begun. And we are live in several counties. We're in Kitui, Kisumu, Bomet. We are in Kirinyaga, Homa Bay. And we're going to be bringing you detailed accounts of what is happening in those particular areas. As you can see on the right of your screen, people have begun voting in some areas. And our reporters are on the ground. We're going to be filling you in on